Hi everyone, this is Chantay. I'm here with a weekend review of my analysis. It's not going to be long because it is Thanksgiving weekend. So first and foremost, I would like to say happy post-Thanksgiving. I hope you were well. I hope you were safe and protected because COVID is really real and it's still here. It's not going away like the flu, like some folks said. It's here. That's it. So I am going to just give you some numbers of COVID. I won't, like I said, I will not be long. Definitely not be long. So here we are. So as of November 27th, 2020, global confirmed cases is 61,549,531. The global death toll is 1,441,335. So we're at 61.5 million around the world. Death toll is 1.4. U.S. confirmed cases is 13,086,268. The death toll is 264,838. The countries with the highest cases, you have India at 9.3, Brazil at 6.2, France at 2.2, Russia at 2.1, Spain at 1,628,208, UK 1,593,248, Italy 1,538,217, Argentina 1,407,277, Colombia 1,290,510, and Mexico rounds out that top 10 with 1,078,594. 594, excuse me. Panama is at 161,744, DR 141,777, Guatemala 121,132. African nations, you have Kenya at 81,656. Nigeria 67,221. Ghana, 51,225. And in the West Indies, you have Jamaica at 10,600. Haiti at 9,264. Trinidad and Tobago 6,586. Belize at 5,515. Guyana at 5,300. St. Lucia 246. Barbados 270. St. Vincent 85. Dominica 80. Grenada 41. St. Kitts 22. This is all comes from the Johns Hopkins website. And then you have on the New York Times COVID map, you have Texas at 1,228,522. California 1,186,640. Florida 979,012. Illinois 706,123. New York 633,140. Georgia 447,942. Ohio 399,808. Wisconsin 399,557. Michigan 369,022, and North Carolina runs up that top 10 with 355,664. But you have other states with rising cases, such as South Dakota at 78,280, and facts on them according to this covidactnow.org, they have 120 cases per 100,000 people. Infection rate is low, it's under 1%, but it's still spreading. They're under the severe watch. Their hospitalizations is, their positivity rate is at 15.4 of testing. That's not good, especially if a state that does not have that many people. ICU beds are at 91%. They almost closely approaching 100% capacity, but their tracers is very low at 7%. Tracers is not enough tracers. That's why COVID is spreading like crazy. And of course, that governor is not issuing a mask mandate. So that's where North Dakota is. Versus New York. New York, you know, every state is going up, but New York has the infection rate for the whole entire state of 19 million people is at 1.17. The cases at 28 cases per 100 people. The positivity rate is a little bit above it, rose 4%, 4.1, but the ICU beds is way less than South Dakota at 25%. And they have more percentage of traces, but it's still not sufficient because we don't have a national strategy in the United States of America. We don't. And things are not looking as great. The economy is not as supposed to be, even though shopping and travel rates, traveling, airlines have saw an uptick in their traveling, but it's still not where it needs to be for them to stay afloat as the year is about to end. And I went shopping today, so in terms of retail, they've probably been doing well, but still there's businesses ready to go out of business. I mean, stores been having Black Friday sales since it's been open, trying to get rid of the stock that they had before COVID came. And unemployment rate is still high. It is still at 10%. I mean, the black unemployment, the unemployment rate is at 7%. No, at 7%. The African American unemployment rate is still at 10%. Well, like 10.6. I don't know the exact number, but it's up there. It's high. So this is what we're dealing with COVID. Because my class, even though it hasn't been focused on COVID, but my project was slightly focused on COVID because it was focused on retail. And retail has been taking the brunt from COVID. So it's not doing as well as it should be. So, yeah. And we might have a lockdown. And because the Supreme Court has now granted the churches in my state a lockdown, not a lockdown, the Catholic Church, more occupancy in the church. Wrong, man. That's bad. So now the Catholic churches in New York City in particular are now going to be filled with so many people because according to the majority opinion, first who dissented was Chief Justice Roberts, Justices Kagan, Sotomayor, and Bayer. So Chief Justice Roberts sided with the liberals, while the other staunch conservatives gave this stupid-ass reason. So here we are. Single out houses of worship for especially harsh treatment. What harsh treatment? Yeah, and I mean, Coney Barrett, who is the Catholic on that bench, who is the staunch conservative. Well, she is the staunch conservative, not in quotation. She is the staunch conservative, sided with the majority, of course. I'm not surprised. First of all, it's not harsh. Second, Governor Cuomo is the reason why many New Yorkers are still alive because, trust me, that 34,000 deaths could have been 100,000. And yeah, the crazy part is she did have COVID. Amy Coney Barrett had COVID over this past summer. So you should understand that houses of worship is a COVID outbreak waiting to happen. But of course, she doesn't care. I mean, after all, the Rose Garden event was catered to her. And a lot of there was 105 people that had COVID, including Donald Trump and his wife himself. Yeah, her judgment isn't good. It's not good at all. And her kids don't wear no mask. I mean, the only reason why they wore masks at the Supreme Court nomination because there's strict rules in the Capitol building. Other than that, these conservatives don't care. They're not pro-life. They're like almost pro-death because they're only pro-life when it comes to a baby. They're not pro-life when it comes to people getting sick from this virus or people dying from an illness that they don't agree with, like HIV and AIDS. Well, more so AIDS, because you die from AIDS. They don't care. If it's not affecting them, then it's not important. It's not considered as pro-life. It's considered as pro-choice. So COVID doesn't matter to them. But it damn sure matters to me. It damn sure matters to me. Yeah, she hardly ever had an experience. Anything like, she never tried a case. She worked on the Bush versus Gore. She was mostly a law professor throughout her law career. She only served on the judge bench for like 3 years. And even she wasn't even sufficient in that. That was somebody else's seat that she took. So she sure enough is a seat warmer for no reason. It's like bland. It's like dry with Amy Coney Barrett. Frizzy as her hair, I should say. Not qualified at all. You got that right, Tara. Not qualified at all. But I would like to get into this peaceful transfer of power. So Donald Trump's administration finally granted the Biden and Harris administration the peaceful transfer of power. So they will be briefed the first day on Monday. That's if those briefings are not altered, because I don't trust this administration, not one bit. I didn't trust that Emily genuinely wanted to do this. Even though she said she wasn't directed, she was directed, and some of it was her own. And she was getting threats of her pets. Girl, bye. You could have did the right thing and could have been like, okay, Joe Biden won. The votes came in, he won. No, this administration wants to discredit black voters in other places like Philadelphia, like Atlanta, like Milwaukee, like Detroit. They tried here saying like, I'm going to get New York. You will never get New York. Because Donald Trump is known to be a fraud in New York. So why New Yorkers will vote for you? But anyway, you tried to discredit these voters in these other places. But they came out and vote because they realized like how they fucked up in 2016. No one gets a cookie. But yeah. I hope they get the right briefing. I hope they get the briefing about what's going on in other places, what's going on in North Korea, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in our countries. Same to you, Tyra. So I hope, for the sake of God and country, that the Trump administration will rightfully inform the Biden and Harris administration of what the hell is going on globally and even domestically with the presidential daily briefings, also known as the PDB. Yeah, the PDB. I said that right. Yeah. But Trump was also asked yesterday, will he be able to concede? And he said this. Oh, yeah, I know. I know. We all nervous. This is what he said. He said if he was able to concede, well, he said that he will never concede and never will attend the Biden and Harris inauguration. No one cares because no one doesn't want your presence. He said he will certainly concede, but before that question, he said if the Electoral College elects Joe Biden, they made a mistake. And he said the election is a fraud. And then when the reporter said, no, it's not, He said, don't talk to me like that. I am the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to a president like that again. Okay. So here's the thing. Donald Trump lost. It is clear as day. Everyone saw the election coverage. The votes were counted, rightfully so. Both Republican states and Democratic states, whatever, all the states counted the votes. Donald Trump lost this race. Yeah, more people voted for him this time around, but still, he didn't get the number of votes that Joe Biden did. Almost 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. 74 million people voted for Donald Trump, which I don't, like I said, I don't understand why. But Donald Trump lost. The Electoral College is going to vote how the voters voted in those states. Whether it was a traditional red state or traditional purple state, Donald Trump lost. And I need for his supporters to move on. It's okay. Y'all were the same assholes that told Hillary supporters to move on. So now it's 4 years later. Move on. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. will be the president of the United States. And Kamala Debbie Harris will be your vice president of the United States. Your first Madam Vice President at that. So I hope you like that. Because we will actually have real leadership in this White House. Actually, legislation that will get passed to benefit the people. If the Senate, you know, that's another thing. If the Senate sways the way of a split Senate. If investigations will actually go on where Lindsey Graham may be out of his seat because of what he did, then that would be fine. So, as I said, you Trump supporters, deal with it. Joseph Robinette Biden will be your president and Kamala Debbie Harris will be your vice president. Coming January 20th, 2021. And that's on a Wednesday. See, now that we got 74 million assholes. Yep. And convincing them to wear a mask, that's going to be a whole nother... Because there's going to be a national lockdown. It's going to be one. Trust and believe. It's going to be a national lockdown. And trust me, they're not going to like that. But, oh well. That's what happens when you have shitty governors that follow shitty presidents. That's all I'm saying. And also, he's doing damage control, Donald Trump, pardoning lying motherfuckers like Michael Flynn, who lied to Congress about an FBI investigation of 2016 election interference. You sitting down with Sergei Kislyak. Yeah, a whole ass liar. This is what Donald Trump is doing. Not putting out stimulus relief because people need that. Because by next month, people are going to lose their unemployment insurance. People need relief bad because people are ready to lose their homes and their apartments around the world. Places like North Carolina. In the South and in the Midwest is where they need the relief the most. And those are the people that got the nastiest and stinkiest Republican senators. Seriously. Seriously. I don't understand the people of South Carolina and the people of Kentucky will vote for Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham to represent them when they don't even look out for the people in their state that's losing their homes. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I really don't. Like, but that's just who, jeez, that's them. But I hope it was worth it because they're not fighting for you. And Who's to say when they come back to the Senate that they will actually talk about COVID relief? I would like to see that happen. And I'm not betting no dollars on it, but I would like to see that happen. Because 9 times out of 10, it might not happen. And if it does happen, it won't be relief for the people. It will be relief for their billionaire donors. Which they don't need none. They don't need no money. They're good. They're Gucci. They're fine. But on my last topic, I would like to talk about these freaking goddamn progressives. Instead of them getting at Mitch McConnell, who needs to pass COVID relief, you're absolutely right. They got so much smoke for Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden. Why you got smoke for Joe Biden? He's not even there yet. The man is about to get his press briefing on Monday. He just got the A-OK for the peaceful transfer of power. Why y'all fighting with Nancy Pelosi, who's actually at the agreement table trying to get this stupid administration, along with the stupid Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, well, Addison Mitchell McConnell Jr., got to put people's whole name on it, to get them to give people relief in this country so they can keep their homes and keep their unemployment insurance, keep money in their pocket. And also give these businesses the proper COVID, strategy so they can combat this thing, and also relief and everything. Other things in COVID, I should say. No. Instead, they're protesting Joe Biden, be brave. You got them now talking about, oh, Rahm Emanuel, hopefully he does not get a position in the Biden and Harris administration. As much as I don't like Rahm Emanuel, I don't think he wants to be in the administration himself. He likes getting his corporate checks from ABC News as a political commentator. I don't think he wants nothing else in this administration. Not even one thing in the administration. Not one. Instead of not protesting, well, excuse me, let me say this. Instead of them let's start this over again. Instead of them protesting Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, they should protest Mitch McConnell and the GOP Senate leadership. Protest Mitch McConnell. Go to his office because he got over 600 bills on his desk. And one of them is the HEROES Act that has been passed over 6 months ago. Close to almost 7 months ago. That actually forgives student loans. That actually has money for COVID relief. And also for schools to open up safely and businesses open up safely. Also gives states money to fight their financial woes. I know in New York, we are $61 billion in debt so far because tourism is down. Because most of our tourism comes from overseas, places like Italy, France, and Spain, who have high COVID numbers over there as well, because they're in the millions too. I know. Y'all want to protest Biden be brave. You got people like David Serrata, who likes to have smoke for people like me, which he did. After I called him out on his disrespect to black voters in South Carolina, because some of them are my family members. and his bitch ass proceeds to block me. People like Brianna Gray, who got smoked for Democrats, which they don't think about her. Instead, she could be making phone calls for Georgia, or better yet, volunteer for a food bank in New York. You got Congress folks, the newly elected congressional folks having more smoke for Biden and not trying to figure how they're going to get COVID relief, or the incumbents that got reelected that are the progressives like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, talking with Nancy Pelosi to see how they're going to get stuff for their constituents. But no, y'all got all this smoke for, once again, the Democrats. Y'all listening to stupid ass motherfuckers like the Sunrise Movement and Justice Democrats, who are low-key Tea Party, green leftists, whatever they want to call themselves. They're full of shit. So my message to these progressives, because y'all not really progressive, keep that same energy with Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Mike Braun, Roy Blunt, Mike Lee, Rafael Edwards Cruz, Marco Rubio, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Joni Ernst, Marsha Blackburn. Keep that energy with them. And lay off Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden. Leave them alone, because they're actually trying to do something about COVID. And that's all I'm saying. But I would just like to end this because it's Friday night and I want to eat some pound cake. We have to stay vigilant, not just with our politics, but with COVID. Because hospitalizations is over 90,000 people. We have 13 million cases of COVID here in the United States. And there's going to be an uptick because people did travel. People did not listen to the CDC guidelines. And I'm pretty sure people did not have their mask on while they were traveling. And it could be asymptomatic. I know personally for myself, I went uptown to see my mom, but I had my mask on. I had 2 masks on the whole entire time. And we were socially distant, and I was the only visitor. My elder sister came off, drop off a cake. My cousin called, but nobody really cared. I was the only visitor, and I was only the visitor for like 3.5 hours, close to 4. But I will say this. Don't be laxed on COVID. Wear your mask. If you're wearing a cloth mask, wear a surgical mask under your cloth mask. If you're wearing a surgical mask, just wear your surgical mask or wear an N95 mask. You can order them online. You can go to your local store. I know if you live in places like New York, New Jersey, they have them. Connecticut, they have them. Pennsylvania, they have them. Delaware, they have them. They have them all over. You can order online. You can do an Amazon order. You can do a bulk, 100 for $25. I've done it before. And it came to me right away. No, not right away. It came to me, it took like a month, depending on where I ordered. But where you order, you can get it within a couple of days. You have to protect yourself during this time. If you got to buy disinfectant wipes, stock up on your disinfectant wipes. Stock up on, what's that? Gloves for if you're touching, like, food in the store. Stock up on essentials like oatmeal or cream of wheat. Stock up on multi-surface cleaners. Anything you can to protect yourself. Toilet tissue, paper towel. Because we're going to be in this thing for a good while. Probably towards the end of next year. And people are like, why you're saying this? Because The botch up response from this current administration, the next administration going to have to play cleanup. And it's cleanup on aisle 25,000. So that's cleanup on the health response and then cleanup on the economic response for COVID. And then we got to deal with the racial reckoning because that is not going to be over no time soon. Because of 74 million people voted for Donald Trump, they want to keep the white supremacy within the institutions of education, of housing, infrastructure, the economy, jobs. So that's another beast you have to fight. So I will say this. Stay vigilant, stay healthy, stay safe, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands. I hope this here really, really touches you in some way. So I will see you next week. Have a good night. And thank you, Antonio.